Hey Aries, welcome to your love and romance reading for June 2021. This is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're sick and tired of love readings, you hate them, you came to the right channel. You just clicked on the wrong video. I do weekly forecasts every single week for all the zodiac signs where we talk about everything except for love. Once a month, I do a love reading, and that's what this is right here. So I'm going to see what's happening for you guys in the month of June 2021 for love and romance. All right, so the first card coming up here, is the Devil. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with a Capricorn because this is the sign that is associated with the zodiac, with the major arcana card, the Devil. That doesn't mean that Capricorns are evil. It's just about earth energy. Capricorns are like out of the earth signs. They're like super the earthiest. And so we have here that earth energy, okay? Now, this is a major arcana card. And so for me in my readings, every single time that I have a major arcana card come up in general, it tells me that this is a significant crossroads. It tells me that you're coming into a significant chapter in your life, a defining moment even. But in a love reading, when I have the major arcana card come up like right off the bat, it tells me this is somebody returning from a past life because there's a contract. There's an agreement. There's a soul contract. There's something here that you all are meant to experience together. Okay? Now, there's a moment of growth here. The Devil card can indicate a couple of things. It can be someone who's coming in to help you overcome your fears. It could be someone on like a positive karmic level, but like a positive karmic soulmate helping you overcome your fears. On a more not so fun level, it could be someone who might be triggering certain fears or insecurities as a way for you to get over them, okay? Or it could indicate someone who's coming in to bring you into the physical pleasures, okay? Because this is a sign of lust, of materialism, sometimes even excess. And so it could be that there's somebody coming in to give you a very earthly experience. Okay, there could be here even a sense of like a possessiveness, someone who gets jealous, or somebody who is possessive, or who may be bringing those feelings out within you, right? You might be feeling possessive of this person. You might be feeling very lusty towards this person. We're going to go on to the reading and see how the other cards are coming up, but I do want to pull clarifiers here around this one because it is kind of a heavy hitter as far as cards go. I don't typically pull clarifiers in the YouTube videos. I'll do clarifiers in the private readings, but I feel we should get some clarifiers here. Clarifier 1, please show us clarifier 2. Please show us clarifier 3. So clarifier 1 is the Six of Cups. Like I said, I feel this is somebody returning from a past life. This is somebody you have known before. It can be for some of you that this is a karmic person who's resurfacing, because we do have the Six of Cups here. But like I said, for me in my readings, typically when I start with a major arcana, it's a past life connection. The next card here is the Six of Swords, and Six of Swords is about overcoming drama. It's kind of funny here because our first card is the Devil, and so far both of our clarifiers are 6. Are we gonna get a third 6? We'll see here in just a moment. Yowza. But the number 6 is being emphasized because we have it so far twice. I'm gonna flip out if the next one is like what? But number 6 is being emphasized. So for me, when number 6 is being emphasized, it's letting us know that you're in a situation where it's time to balance the material aspect or the financial aspect of love. Okay, so there could be some materialism that's surfacing here that's negatively influencing the relationship, or you might be with someone that you're trying to teach them, or they're trying to teach you, that as much as they appreciate financial things, they need you, or you need them to step up emotionally in terms of like time, giving time. Typically for me, it's the kind of relationship where somebody does something to upset the other person, and then they turn around and they try to make up for it by buying flowers or giving a gift or taking you out on a nice date, right? Or they're showing their love in material ways. And you might be like, look, I really appreciate that. All that is real fine and dandy, but I also kind of want you here. Like I want to, I would rather that you learn from the mistake and not do it again, instead of buying me a present every time you do it. Or I'd rather have your time. I'd rather have that emotional intimacy. I don't want everything just to be about money or gifts. Six of Swords here is overcoming drama. So it could be maybe somebody has wronged you in some way, or you're wanting to make up for something, and so there could be some kind of a trip, because Six of Swords can be a getaway, like a little traveling, getting away. Sometimes I've heard of it referred to as the honeymoon card. So it could be just energy of trying to like get away, have a nice little romantic time, leave everything behind you. But like I said, there might still be some issues here that you're like, I want to address these things. I appreciate the kindness, I appreciate the gift, I appreciate the vacation, but this might be a good opportunity for you to be able to address those things and to kind of vocalize that to this person. Because I feel some of you are like, oh, but I need you to love me, and oh, don't I do this for you, and don't I do that for you? And you're like, yeah, but like maybe you're having a hard time putting it into words. I think some of you are in a relationship, or you're going to end up in a relationship here in June or pretty soon thereafter, where you have someone who's just trying to make up for things in physical ways, like kiss and makeup in the bedroom, or makeup by doing something romantic. But you're like, I want to deal with the issues. Your next card here is the Four of Pentacles. And Four of Pentacles, like I said, that could be that possessiveness. That could be like, you're mine, mine kind of energy. It can also be like closing off and wanting to reclaim your body. Because there's a lot of lusty energy here, there may be issues here in which you're in a relationship, those of you especially that you have somebody coming up with a past life connection. There could be that you guys are helping each other figure out your physical boundaries. Okay, there might be certain things that maybe you don't want to do in the bedroom. There might be certain things that maybe they don't want to do in the bedroom. And there might be something here in terms of like both of you learning to like, this is my body. This is my body. This is how I want it treated. This is how I, want to experience things. Some of you might be with someone who's kind of triggering certain things in you that you're having to look at, like, that makes me uncomfortable, I don't like that, or that makes me think of this experience or that experience, or this thing that happened when I was a kid. And so I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't feel that this is someone who has bad intentions towards you. I do feel this person's coming in very genuinely, very sincerely, but there's gonna be some work here. It's gonna take some work here to find a common love language and boundaries. I keep hearing boundaries. Your next card here is the Strength card. Okay, this could be Leo energy. This is another major arcana card. Now, again, when I have major arcanas come in back to back, this is going to be a card about, or the major arcana cards coming in back to back. There's really big energetic shifts that are occurring. A lot of clearing that's happening. A lot of healing that's happening. And that healing is going to look different for different ones of you, depending on where you are in your journey and where you are in your own personal growth and transformation. But the Strength card is a card that indicates, for me in a love reading, there's vulnerability that's being triggered here. You might be a bit of a badass. Okay, most of you are. And so this is something that's kind of triggering a sense of vulnerability. I don't want to say helplessness, because you guys are not helpless by any means, but just this feeling of like fragileness, like frailty, right? Like I don't want to get hurt here, or I feel a little bit vulnerable. And the Strength card is about embracing that vulnerability and finding strength in it. Okay, we look at this woman here with the lion. You might be wanting to come in and put those boundaries like you have a whip in your hand, right? Like you're going to be the lion tamer. But let's think of this logically. If most people, you or I, went out into the wild and we had a whip and we see a lion and we're like, I'm going to tame it, and you start going after that lion and whipping it, it's going to tear you to shreds. It's not going to be that easy. So for me, the Strength card kind of indicates you're going to catch more flies with honey than you are with vinegar. I kind of imagine, how did she tame this lion? How in the heck did she tame this lion? And so I kind of imagine maybe she kind of stayed out of its way. She respected its boundaries. She approached it cautiously. Maybe she left water out for it. Maybe she left food out for it. Maybe she took care of it when it was sick or injured and created that bond through gentleness. And now it's right there beside her, ready to protect her. If anybody comes at this woman, that lion's probably going to tear them apart. So finding a way to approach the things that you don't like, and bonding and becoming closer through that gentleness, right? Even though she was gentle, even though she kind of I don't want to say submitted to this lion, but she kind of really kind of, was very, respectful of it in a very high regard. Now it's kind of like serving her, right? Like now it's protecting her. Now she has that power over the lion. But I don't think she went into the wild and beat it up. Otherwise she'd be dead probably, So that's like an approach that comes up for me in love readings when I see the Strength card. Strength card is also loyalty, commitment. So I feel these are things that are coming really to the forefront for you. Like these are things that you're really emphasizing. These are things that you're explaining. Like you don't want to feel betrayed. You don't want to feel like taken advantage of. And so I feel like these are moments where you're really actually getting to be very real, very genuine. And this came up in some of the past readings very recently. Those of you who are wanting to manifest love, like true romantic love, we can't manifest it if we haven't embraced our vulnerability, because love is an emotional process. And if we're super guarded, and if we're not ready to feel, and if we're not ready to take those emotional risks, we're not going to be able to manifest love. And so Aries, you guys are finding that balance. You're finding that balance between those two things, being able to be protected, being able to have your boundaries, but also letting the wall down enough to have this experience and to have this exchange. Okay, this is a lesson. You guys have come into each other's life to learn this lesson from each other, and I feel that there's a bit of a mirror here. This person has to learn this from you, and you have to learn it from them. You guys are like mirrors for each other. The next card here is the Knight of Wands. And this is fast moving energy. These are things that are happening very, very quickly. Okay. Now, I'm sorry to say this. Don't get upset with me. Okay. Because it's not going to be for every single one of you. If you know you're done with the journey, you're done with the journey. But some of you do have a karmic who's coming in and out of your life. Because the Knight of Wands for me is somebody who comes in and out of your life. Okay. But this is what you need to know. I feel those of you that you do have the person who comes in and out, this person's coming back in a big way. They may even come back in a way where like they're acting like they're ready. Okay, like they're talking marriage, or they're talking about, buying property together, or doing something really major to kind of like, show that they mean business. But I'm sorry to say, in that aspect, the Knight of Wands never changes. The Knight of Wands is like an outdoor cat. You can't teach an outdoor cat how to be an indoor cat. It's never going to happen. It's going to claw up the furniture and tear down the house, right? So outdoor cat is just going to come when it needs to be loved up on, when it's hungry, needs to be fed, it's thirsty. Once it's had its belly full, it's warm and dry, it's been loved up on, it's going to go out into the neighborhood sauntering off until next time, until who knows when. Okay. And I kind of joke that maybe you have to move to get away from that outdoor cat. And so some of you maybe are moving to kind of get a fresh start, or to get away from karmic people or karmic cycles, so that you don't have that temptation. If it's not a karmic person who's coming in and out, you know you're done with that. You're like, nope, I already took care of that amethyst. That's so last year. That's so 6 months ago. If that's not the case for you, then the Knight of Wands is coming up in the way, and in the sense that you may have somebody who's stepping up, that might be giving you an ultimatum, or you may be giving that other person an ultimatum. Okay, the role can be reversed here. Knight of Wands for me in love relationships can often indicate ultimatums. Okay, I always say though, anytime we give somebody an ultimatum, right? You need to do this or forget it. 9 times out of 10, pride or ego is going to make them say, well, then forget it. So if you're the one who's tempted to give an ultimatum, don't give the ultimatum unless you 100% are really ready, like for them to pick the option that you don't want them to pick. Okay. Be aware of that. But Knight of Wands is very, very fast moving energy. I also feel, Aries, that some of you are with somebody, or you're manifesting somebody who has a bit of a temper. And I feel that's why the strength card came up, right? Like, because Aries, you guys are very feisty, right? Like, people aren't going to come up and pick a fight with you. I'm a Scorpio, and I don't go around picking fight with Aries, you know? But definitely, I feel like what this card is saying is that if you let your ego get into it, this can be something very explosive that's leading to like ultimatums, or like, fine, then forget you, right? Like, I don't need you, I don't need anybody. And so I feel like the strength card is coming up in the way that it's going to be up to you to diffuse the situation, you know, because this person's showing up as a knight. And so knight tells us that this could be somebody who maybe is not on the same maturity level as you are. So like, you may have to be the mature one in the relationship, or you may be having to be the one who kind of brings it down, who de-escalates it, who like tames the lion. Now, some of you are like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that amethyst. I'm not interested. I don't want it. Then that's a statement you can make to the universe, and you can tell the universe, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to tolerate this. This is not the relationship that I'm going to accept. I want, this, and this, right? Other ones of you, because of the strong past life connection, maybe you typically wouldn't want it, but in this situation, you're like, I kind of feel for this person, or I feel this connection, so I'm gonna work through it with them. I'm gonna kind of like, help them kind of tone it down. I'm gonna help them kind of like diffuse the situation. You guys are on different journeys, you're on different paths, and so it's gonna be different for different ones of you. I do feel that some of you who are deciding to leave this kind of situation, again, Spirit is saying gentleness is going to go a long way with diffusing drama as you're breaking away from that energy. The next card here is the Ten of Swords. So yeah, some of you are done, and some of you are ready to break that karmic cycle, break that karmic path, or past. Ten of Swords can also indicate here overcoming addictions. I feel that some of you have had a cycle or a pattern where you've found yourself in relationships with people who have various addictions, and maybe you even grew up around that, and you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. This could actually be the ultimatum that some of you are giving. And that ultimatum might be like, look, you're going to stop these behaviors. You're going to stop this substance abuse, or you're going to stop doing these things that this is self-medicating. You're going to get help for this addiction. You're going to stop, or we're not going to be in a relationship anymore. Some of you are like, Amethyst, oh my gosh, you're so right, but this happened a long time ago. I already made that ultimatum. I'm already not with that person anymore. Well, it's still coming up. So, okay, even though you need to give yourself a massive pat on the back for stepping out of an unhealthy situation, this might be coming up for those of you who are like, oh no, I've already cut that person out. This might be coming up for you because you may still be carrying or continuing this type of relationship with someone who's a family member, or like a friend. Okay, so even though you may have cut out of it in your romantic life where you're like, nope, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna date that, there may be one more bridge to cross here, potentially even burn, with someone in your life who their energy is taking up this romantic energy. It's almost like this relationship is blocking you romantically. And again, it could be a friend or a family member. There might be here some ties that need to be cut with somebody who is maybe angry and maybe dealing with some kind of addictions. And so Aries, if you have found yourself in relationships where you've been enabling, you're breaking out of that cycle. You're not like, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to enable anymore. And that's the thing about strong people. Sometimes people think that enablers are weak. And that's not the case, because somebody who's looking to be enabled, they're going to seek out a strong person. They're going to seek out somebody who is going to, handle business and who's going to fix things. They're going to be looking for a badass. They're not going to go for like a weak, mousy person. They're going to look for a strong person who has a good heart and who's going to feel bad for them. Okay, so the fact that this is being attracted to you, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that, you're some kind of way that you shouldn't be. It just, unfortunately, strong people will attract people who are looking to be rescued or enabled. And I feel, Aries, you guys are breaking out of that cycle. You're breaking out of that pattern and you're taking your power back and you're willing to open yourself up to love, but you're not going to take the risk if someone is not stepping up correctly. Okay? And so here with this 10 of Swords, you are burning those bridges. You are cutting away the old karmic ties, or the old ways of thinking, or the old soul contracts that have made you the rescuer all the time. You're like, I don't want to be the rescuer. I don't want to be the rescuer anymore, right? And so you're breaking out of that cycle or that pattern in relationships. Now, because the 10 of Swords is here, and because of the 4 of Pentacles is here, I do feel like many of you are choosing to walk away. I really, really do. Okay, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate. You may resonate more with your moon sign or your rising sign or your Venus sign. Okay, you may need to check those out and see what resonates for your particular circumstance right now the most. But in this reading, with these cards, I feel like a lot of you are taking back your power, and you're not just walking away from a specific person. You're walking away from a certain agreement, a certain kind of like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to handle business, I'm going to take care of everything. You're tired of it. You don't want to do it anymore. And I feel that that's the shift that you're making. Your next card here, my darlings, is the 5 of Wands. This is struggle. This is struggle. This is conflicting goals. You guys are not on the same page. You want different things. You have different priorities. I do feel, Aries, that for those of you who are in this kind of like pulling away from this person or this circumstance, this person's not going to make it easy for you. They're not. I feel they may say things or do things to kind of try to like bait you or keep the argument going. I feel it's going to be up to you to just disconnect and walk away. And that might be difficult and that might be challenging if you feel like you need to have the last word. Because I feel like no matter what you say, they're going to come back with something else. And they're going to come back with something else. And they're going to come back. At some point, you just have to say, okay, fine, whatever. And just kind of like disconnect from it. Some of you feel very strongly for this person. Some of you are like, having hope that they're going to turn it around. And 5 of Wands just wants you to know that this is a situation where you're dealing with someone who doesn't want to give up their stance, right? You want different things. You have different priorities. So even if this is a situation where the person is doing their work or they're getting better or they're going to rehab, 5 of Wands makes me feel like that's forever going to be over your head. Well, you have to do this for me because I healed this issue, or you have to do this for me because I moved, or I cut out that toxic family member like you told me to, Or you have to do this for me because I gave up drinking, or I gave up this substance or that substance. And it's like forever over your head. Like, I did this for you. What are you going to do for me? Kind of thing. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live. I feel for you guys, because this is such a specific message, and I feel that sometimes when these really specific messages come out, they might not resonate for, say, the majority, but the minority that it does resonate really needs to hear this, and Spirit is really reaching out to those people who really need to hear this. So the rest of you that it doesn't resonate, check out your moon, your rising, your Venus, and one of those will probably resonate more. But I feel here that Spirit is really reaching out to a certain group of you who are having this challenge, and who, like, Spirit wants you to know that you don't have to make up for having boundaries, or you don't have to make up for having requirements for the relationship. You don't owe somebody for them doing their work. You don't owe somebody for them doing their healing. Okay, so it's not like again, remember that sixth energy, that whole kind of, well, generosity and like giving. Relationship is not always about giving. Okay, it's about connection, it's about understanding, it's about emotional intimacy. It's not always about exchange. I do this for you, you do that for me, right? You guys are breaking out of that. No more tit for tat. No more tit for tat. Okay. And so some of you might want to check out, like I said, your other placements. They might resonate more. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can go to calendly.com/amethystangelite and schedule with me there. I'll also have it listed in the description of the video. And don't forget, my darlings, check out the weekly forecasts. I know love and romance is really important to a lot of us, and it's fun, and it's a part of the human experience. But don't forget about the other areas of your life, and be sure to check out the weekly forecasts as well. Thanks for watching, my darlings. Bye.